You've always been a Matt Schaub kind of supporter. Is
Yeah.
Matt Schaub is he the right quarterback for the future in Houston?
Yeah, he is because contractually is. They're not going to make a move. He makes too much money. It'd be too much of a cap hit. I don't think he has the ability, and I think Matt would tell you this. Matt doesn't have the ability like an Aaron Rodgers has, or Drew Brees has, or Peyton, where he can take over a game. But that's not a bad thing. You know, they need to fix some things on defense, maintain what they're doing on offense, and they'll be back. The AFC is soft. I hate using that word. The AFC is top strong.
Not as deep.
Not as deep, thank you. It ain't going to be hard in the AFC to make another run.
Did they make a mistake giving him that money? Should they have waited like the Ravens have done with Joe Flacco and made him play the year and see what he could do?
Who's better out there? That'd be my question. Anytime people want to make a switch at quarterback, I always say this. I'm like, I get it. I get he doesn't do the things you want your franchise quarterback to do. Where are you going to go get one? You tell me, is there a guy out there that you think is a better fit for the Houston Texans that's available than Matt Schaub?
You were a TJ Yates guy coming out of the draft.
TJ still needs time, and I think you continue to develop TJ, and maybe at some point you have competition. I'm fine with that, but I just think it's too easy for everybody to say, well, he didn't do what we wanted him to do, so let's change. Okay, well, you better have an answer who you're changing to, because it's hard to find a guy with that type of experience, that type of leadership. He does do some things in the passing game that are exceptional, with anticipation, with dissecting defenses. So he brings a lot of good to the table.
Do you think it's fair to say he needs to be better? And do you think it's fair to say he could be better after 6 years as a starter?
That he needs to play better in the big game. Yes.
Do you think it's fair to say he can be better after 6 years as a starter?
You can always improve. Yeah. And by the way, ask Tom and Peyton if they think they can improve, because they still think they can improve.
Have you noticed anything mechanically with him? He used to be
I thought he was hurt. I thought he was hurt late in the year. Now, we have the same agent, and my agent wouldn't tell me he was hurt. But I noticed a difference in him. I've noticed a difference in Phil Rivers for the last 2 years. Our bodies get old. Throwing is a lot about rotational force. It has very little to do with your arm. If you lose the ability to have rotational force, whether it's a hip injury, a knee injury, an ankle injury, a shoulder, whatever it is, you lose a lot of your confidence on what you can do with the ball. And I saw him turn down some throws, miss some throws that he should have made, and I sense there's something health-wise that limited him at the end of the year. Speculation, but that's what my eyeball tells me. And I knew as a player it would happen to me, and I'd deny it. That's bullshit. I'm not hurt, blah, 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 I'm tougher than this. And sure enough, I'm watching the film like, God, did I throw that? You know, what is that? You know, because you always have to work yourself into this, legend in your own mind state, so you're not willing to admit any problems that you might have. So yeah, this is a critical offseason for Matt. I think from a strength and conditioning and health standpoint, to get back to where he can maximize his potential. There's guys that are so talented that they can play at 80%. He's not one of those guys. He needs to be a 90 to 100% guy.
Trent, if you could